الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. قال الله عز وجل في مقام آخر إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. So we talked about ikhlas being, your intention, the purity, sincerity of one God. Everything you do is to please Allah. And it is very hard to achieve this level. The scholars have talked about it quite often, how difficult this is. But we find even as American Muslims in the culture today, the difficulty is still there, right? Ikhlas is when you're believing that everything you do is only for Allah. You couldn't care less, okay, people benefit you, don't benefit you. That wouldn't change what you do. But today, what do we say? Oh, what do people think, right? Yeah, it's time for prayer, but I'm at work. Do I really want to tell them, hey, is it alright if I step out for 5 minutes to go pray? They may care, they may not care. I understand there's different situations. Most of the times, I'll be honest with you, people won't care. Sometimes we're amongst friends, and we start missing prayers because we get caught up in what we're doing. So now our ikhlas has been tainted. You're no longer prioritizing Allah. You've chosen the people. And the reason this is important is because it's a concept called riyah. Riyah, it is essentially when you're becoming arrogant, you kind of do things to show off a little, right? And why is this a problem? Is because you'll do a good deed. Oh, I'm fasting Mondays and Thursdays, but you announce it to every single person you see so they can say, oh, what a good Muslim, mashallah, right? This is riyah. And the scholars have likened this to a low level of shirk, right? It's not full on shirk, but it is a much lower level of it, is when you start prioritizing people. So when we start making comments like this, we know what's good, we know what's right, we won't be honest because we're wondering what will people say. And this is not a problem that plagues just American Muslims. In the basic community, Pakistani, Indians, so on, etc. What do they say? Lo kya kehenge. What will the people say? It's the same translation, there's no difference. In Egyptian, what do they say? Al-nas al-Qur'an. What will the people say? We constantly, throughout any culture you'll see people constantly concerning themselves. What will the people think? If I pray that sunnah, will people start making comments about me? If I tell them, no, I don't want to partake in this because it's not really aligned with my Islamic values, what will they say about me? Right? And this is what's inevitably hurting our ikhlas, our belief in the oneness for Allah. We can't say that we're doing it for the sake of Allah and then start including people. Now the danger is you fall into this lower level of shirk. So how do we know whether our intentions are pure? Scholars say, now one of the best ways to know is if you're having true ikhlas or true sincerity is when you wish nobody saw what you did. You do a good deed, you help someone, you donate money, whatever it may be. And you just wish nobody saw you, nobody was there to comment on it, nobody was there to benefit you. That is a very good sign that you have shown true sincerity in your actions. But likewise, the scholars also mention you still have to be careful, because the person who believes that they have true sincerity, their sincerity needs sincerity. Meaning, you have to renew your intentions. Remind yourself that, did I really do this for the sake of Allah? Or was there a tangential thing I kind of benefited from that pushed me towards doing this good deed? These are things we have to check, because riyah, that arrogance of believing that you're sincere, it can come up very easily. And it is very difficult to catch. The scholars themselves, it's difficult. The Prophet Muhammad, he said that catching riyah, or catching this arrogance, is like seeing an ant crawling. If you focus on the ant crawling, you will see it crawling. But if the ant's at a distance, you're not going to notice it. It's just kind of there in the background doing its thing. An ant could be crawling in the back of the room and nobody would be able to notice it. And this is how dangerous this arrogance can be, and how quickly we can lose our sincerity and our intentions and our deeds. And the Prophet ﷺ, he gave us a dua against shirk. He says, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika anna ushrika bika wa ana a'lam, wa astaghfiruka lima la a'lam. O Allah, I seek refuge in you, lest I associate anything with you knowingly, and I seek your forgiveness for what I know not. Essentially, a little simpler translation is, Allah, I seek your forgiveness against committing shirk, right, associating any partners with Allah, knowingly and unknowingly, right? Because that's essentially kind of what we're talking about when we say, oh, what will the people say? You're unknowingly committing shirk. You're unknowingly committing a really big sin. And so we seek forgiveness from Allah for that. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad. كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع مجيب الدعوات. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم أعني على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروا الله يذكركم ولذكر الله أكبر. الله